I'm Bobby Thompson.
And I can't believe we made it to this point. We're down to 3 teams left. Bobby's still repping his Patriots. I respect it. We'll see you next year. I gave up a while ago, so I'm just repping the blue now. And we're previewing Titans and Chiefs, so that'd be a preview for my pick, potentially.
Yeah. Well, I'll start off with saying I'm always repping my Patriots no matter what. It feels really weird now not having them in there. It's
first time.
Yeah, it is. It's the first time in like 10 years. It feels really weird, but
it's a decade. Crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's insane, and it's
fun.
really, really weird, and it's a terrible feeling, and I hope I never have to feel it again.
Oh, stop it, you.
But now we're on what a championship game for the AFC we have coming up between the Kansas City Chiefs, who are going back to their second consecutive, and the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, I'm just going to tell you now, have been the surprise of the playoffs, and they have shocked me twice. When they beat the Patriots, I expected they're not going to beat the Ravens. They go in there and they beat their ass, and it was not pretty. It was what a game plan, and my hat goes off to Mike Vrabel. He is an absolutely outstanding coach. What he has done for that team and that franchise in 2 years since he's been there is second to none. This game is a really good one. I'm excited for this. This one's at 3 o'clock, 3:05 on Sunday, 2 games, 3:05 kickoff time. Patty Mahomes versus Ryan Tannehill. And we'll break this down for you, too. Julian and I. Let's get it popping right now. We're all excited. This is championship week. I will say this. I'm excited for this because Super Bowl's coming up. But it's going to suck when football's gone. So I'll point that out real quick. But I will say, to get it started, that the Kansas City Chiefs last week showed me something. They showed me that when they're down, because they were down 24-0, and they looked sluggish, they weren't tackling anybody, special teams was horrendous, and then, just like this, they erased a 24-point deficit in 9 minutes.
It was unbelievable, and you did a great job of setting the stage of how we got to this point. But there's a couple things that need to be said about this. First of all, Bill O'Brien's absolutely horrendous. We foreshadowed this, and he is absolutely terrible at his job. He absolutely cost the Texans that football game. He made 2 boneheaded decisions, and they both directly cost the Texans this lead. So before we go any further, Texans are killing it. They're up 21-0 early second quarter. They're on the goal line. What yard line was this? I'm trying to set the stage. It was a 4th and 1. He decides to settle for a field goal and go up 24-0, keep the Chiefs in the game. Do you know what yard line they were around when he decided to do this? I know they were in the red zone, very close.
I think they were at like the 25-26 actually.
Okay, so
it's basically essentially the red zone, just a few yards back.
I'm trying to see really quick.
I
think you're right though.
But I do agree with you. Bill O'Brien's decision making when the going gets tough is very questionable.
That's being nice.
He is listen. He inherited a great quarterback, arguably one of the best wide receivers in football. Their offense is evolving. Their defense is decent. But they just can't put it together, and that has to go for him. He doesn't make a lot of good decisions. I'm not really sold on him. He is a former Patriot offensive coordinator. I liked him with us. I thought he was well. But here's the thing, too. He gets in his head, too.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing with he just doesn't get them over the top for me.
He doesn't do anything to help them win.
He didn't do it for Penn State, and he's not doing it for the Texans either. He's staying at the mediocre line. He'll get you to the playoffs.
And win the round maybe if you're lucky.
Yep, but when the going gets tough, he crumbles.
Yeah.
Every time.
I figured out the situation. So they actually got down to the 13-yard line. That's how close they were. It was 4th and 1 at 13.
I thought it was farther. Wow.
They were on the 23 before the play or something like that. But he gets right there. He's in the red zone. He can go for the kill shot. It's 4th and 1. You have your team's rolling. Have some confidence in your team to get a yard and put a touchdown on the board and try to put the game out of reach. You know, the one team that can erase a deficit at the drop of a hat is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
There's no team that can get rid of the points quicker than the Chiefs. And now that decision looks fantastic compared to what we're about to break down. All right, so let's try. Now we got to get to this fake punt because this was absolutely ridiculous. This is probably the most head-scratching call I've ever seen in a long time. This is up there with the handoff for Penn State on 4th and 5. Remember that one that Chase Young broke up in the backfield?
Oh yeah, how could you forget that? This fake punt was so boneheaded. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. That's another thing, Bill O'Brien.
This is way worse.
Why are you doing a fake punt 4th and 5?
Up 17 at your own end.
On your own end to get great field position, and Sorensen knew it was coming the whole time. He was standing right there when the guy got the ball.
Yeah,
he was literally right there.
You weren't fooling anyone. And first of all, you're up 17 points. You're on your own end. You're on your own 31-yard line when you decide to do this buffoonery of a play or this whatever you want to call it. This insult of a play. And you really think you're going to catch the Chiefs snapping in your own territory. You're up 17 points. You're trying to keep the ball away from them, I guess, but you hand them a touchdown if you don't get it. It's an automatic touchdown for the Chiefs offense. They're 30 yards away. They're down 17. You really think they weren't going to put 7 on your ass if you did that? I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. I was trying not to curse, but there's no other way to describe that, really. I mean, that play has to go down as one of the worst calls I've ever seen, especially in a playoff game. And I just can't stress how bad it is. He should have been fired on the spot just for that.
Okay, I had to clear my throat right there. So, listen, that play up 17 in your own end, that's asinine. That's bad coaching. It's idiotic, moronic, asinine, there you go.
Whatever you want to call it.
And here's what I say. Here's what I'm going to tell you. That's just pure arrogance to me, and Bill O'Brien has no position to be arrogant. What has he done to be that arrogant? It's
almost like a disrespect
to
the opponent.
And what happened? It was disrespected. After that, they woke up. And then the kickoff return by McCall Hardman set up a touchdown. Travis Kelce, after dropping that terrible pass on third and whatever it was, he was lights out.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill was a non-factor. He got hurt. He got banged around. If you notice something, he got popped a few times.
Yeah.
And they didn't they did a good job. I'm starting to notice something. Teams are really starting to key on him and take him out of games. And the Chiefs are now adapting to get other players the ball. Robinson, if he's not trying to catch balls, one-handed dropping them when he's wide open and could go 50 yards untouched.
They were dropping so many in the beginning.
I think they need to play McCall Hardman a lot more. I think he's a weapon. He's got speed for days. Mm-hmm. You got to get him more involved.
Yeah, and like you said, he'll only have 43 yards, and they did a great job of holding him in check. And it looked like the Texans had it going. The Chiefs had nothing. They were dropping every pass. Mahomes was getting frustrated out there.
Yep.
Kelce, absolute animal, 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. What else is new with this dude? All he does is produce. Patrick Mahomes, 320 yards, 5 touchdowns. And the Chiefs, they scored 41 unanswered points before the Texans finally decide to respond. 41 unanswered points. Are you kidding me? In a playoff game when you were up 24-0.
And the thing is, too, they look sluggish, and it was bad. I'm sitting down watching this game.
Literally fell asleep.
Yep. And it was crazy.
It was bad, yeah.
And here's the thing, too. Andy Reid, I'm thinking in the back of my head, is this the game Andy Reid gets his ass kicked in the divisional round, and is this where you hear the rumblings of... But no.
I was thinking about it, too. All that thought crossed everyone's mind when they're done 24-0. This is a typical Chiefs in the playoffs and home with Andy Reid.
They're bad at home.
How many times have we seen this before? But that was not going to be the narrative, and this is a different Andy Reid. But can he get to the Super Bowl? Enough with that game. The Texans, old news. Bill O'Brien should be fired, but he won't. So they're going to have to live with that, I guess. Not good times in Houston right now.
No, Houston, you guys have a big problem.
Yeah, so like you said, Titans, Ravens, we don't need to get too much into, but the Titans did what they had to do. They turned Lamar Jackson over 3 times, I believe.
They exposed him.
He did have over 500 total yards of offense, but only 12 points. It was a Jameis Winston type day, if you will.
I like that. It is. It's Jameis Winston-esque. It's
Throws for 500, has like 3 picks, only scores like a few points.
Exactly. You want to know what the Titans did? They gave everybody a blueprint next year on how to limit Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Watch that game film, and that's how you're going to limit them. And here's the thing: if teams really adapt and get used to that, and they stop Lamar Jackson, Ravens might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. I mean, the Titans' defense is very good. We also got to give credit there. Like, not every team's going to be able to replicate.
No, I agree.
But they did provide a lot of good intel on how to slow down Lamar Jackson. But the Titans, their game plan's good. They're buying in. Vrabel's doing an outstanding job. I'm fully on board with this team. I believe in this team. And they can do whatever it takes. It really reminds me of the Jets back in 2009 and 2010. And Tannehill really reminds me of Mark Sanchez, and I'm not even trying to be funny. That's how I see it. Tannehill has just 160 yards passing, 3 touchdowns.
One
pick, a little over 50%. Complete 86 quarterback rating, but he's doing just enough to get it done. He's not making a big mistake. He's taking what the defense gives him, not trying to do too much, and he's playing within the game plan. Derrick Henry setting the tone. Henry has 377 yards. He is more than double Tannehill's output. This is absolutely insane. And Henry is the X factor yet again for the Titans. Although I shouldn't say he's the X factor, he's the factor. Now we get to Titans Chiefs. All right, so here we go. Sorry we took a bit of time to get to this, but we had to lead up to it. So if I do this video later, we'll put where the breakdown starts for Chiefs-Titans. Okay, anyway. Titans are a 7.5-point underdog in Arrowhead. The over-under is 53 points, and Titans are 11-7 after the 2 playoff wins. Chiefs are 13-4. So, brother, I have my spin on this game. I want to see what you think about the number, the over-under a little bit. You can give me a score prediction.
What's the over-under?
53 points.
Okay.
Give me some X-Factor. You can give me an X-Factor on each team if you want.
Sure. All right, here's how I see this game's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for either teams. I've said this. I said last week that the Ravens were going to steamroll the Titans. I was dead wrong. Here's what I'm going to say. This game's going to come down to the wire. Both teams are going. Here's what I'm going to say. Teams will score points. The Chiefs, they're going to put points on the board. And so will the Titans. I think that the Chiefs are going to have a hard time limiting and even stopping Derrick Henry. Nobody wants to tackle the guy. He's just steamrolling through everybody. But here's the thing. I think that Ryan Tannehill, you see that he doesn't have a lot of passing yards because Derrick Henry's doing all the work.
Right.
Ryan Tannehill's making the plays when he needs to be made, and that's fun.
Exactly.
But this is the championship game. When they limit him, the Chiefs' defensive line, and here's the way I see it: they didn't have Chris Jones playing the Chiefs in the divisional round. They're going to have him this time, and he's going to clog up that hole. He's going to be disruptive. Can Ryan Tannehill make the plays when the plays need to be made?
That's the question.
Here's what I think. I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to have a game plan, the way to stop Brady and all of them. Get to the quarterback, knock him on his ass every time he goes back to pass, and make him not want to stand in the pocket. Get the ball out, make him want to roll out and make plays on the run and force him into turnovers. Because let me tell you something, the Chiefs' defense, and Jules, you could agree with me, got a lot better, and I'm starting to see that.
Yeah.
And here's what I'll say: this: Derrick Henry will go over 100 yards and he will score a touchdown. That's my prediction. He is the factor. I agree for the Titans.
No longer X.
Here's another thing: the other X factor for me with the Titans is Corey Davis.
Okay.
Get this guy
talking
going.
About him, but nothing's happened with him.
Maybe this is the game to get him going. But for the Chiefs, listen, Patty Mahomes was a stone-cold killer on last week. He had ice in his veins. That deficit did not bother him once. It was Brady-esque. That's the way I saw it. Brady, Manning, all the great quarterbacks who have ever been down that big, it did not faze him. He went on the sideline. He's getting everybody riled up. Now you're starting to see this. You didn't see this last year. He's starting to be a leader, and look at and they're responding to him.
Yeah.
So
totally.
Here's what I'm going to tell you this. This game, the X factor for me for the Chiefs is going to be You know what? There's so many playmakers on this team. It's crazy. But they're going to try to limit Tyreek Hill, of course. They're going to do what they can with Travis Kelce. In my opinion, it's going to be McCall Hardman. I think they're going to get him more involved, get his speed going, and Patty Mahomes will look at him early and often, I feel. Damian Williams, I think, is a sleeper, too. Okay. The guy just produces when you need him to. Scores a touchdown. It seems every time they're in the red zone, he gets a touchdown. I'm going to tell you this. Here's my prediction for this. I'm going to go 33-32 Chiefs.
Wow.
And here's what happens. I usually say this. You guys always hear me saying this. I'm always the quarterback going down, either scoring a touchdown, kicking a field goal. The Honey Badger gets a game-winning interception. And I will tell you this. Ryan Tannehill will be sacked. I'm going to say this. Will be sacked between 5 and 6 times.
Wow.
That's my prediction. This defensive line is going to put a lot of pressure on Ryan Tannehill. They're going to do what they can to stop Henry. I think that in the beginning of the game, Henry's going to do what he does. He just steamrolls everybody. He'll get his yards. I think second half they make the adjustment, and you'll see that it's a game of adjustments. This is a championship game. Winner goes to the ship. So I will tell you this, 33-32. But I will say that Ryan Tannehill does have more than 70, 80 yards passing this game. So 33-32 Chiefs.
Okay, wow, that's some summary, and I agree with some of that. But I have a couple different things here. The Chiefs' rush defense is still horrendous, but their pass defense is respectable. The rush, they gave up 128 during the season. During the playoffs, they gave up a touch under 100, but they gave up a lot of passing yards to Watson, over 300 plus. And the Titans' secondary is going to be a problem for them. They gave up 255 yards during the season, and they also gave up over 300 to Lamar passing. They just had the turnovers. But Patty's not going to give them those turnovers.
No.
I'll say that much. But the thing for the Titans here is that Henry is going to be critical in chewing up the clock and keeping Mahomes off the field, and that's where I believe the Titans will have the advantage. Also, my X factor for the Titans, A.J. Brown. He's been absent. He's their best receiver. He's better than Corey Davis, and I think he's going to have to put his print on this game if the Titans are going to win it, and I think Tannehill will step up. I think he'll have a turnover or two, but I think he'll be poised. I'm going to say he throws for over 200 yards, because that's a hot take maybe. And I'll say Derrick Henry is under 150, but he'll still have a productive day, and he'll score 2 touchdowns. And the Titans are going to go into Arrowhead, and they're going to upset Andy Reid.
Wow.
Andy Reid will be denied yet again, and here's how it's going to happen. The Titans will be driving down the field late. They're going to be down 4, so they're going to need a touchdown here. They're going to have under a minute left, actually under 30 seconds. It's going to be 3rd and goal, and they're going to give the ball to Derrick Henry. He's going to bust the doors out for a win.
Wow, not bad. That definitely could see something like that happening.
I'm going to give my score. I got to think the score, how this is going to go. All right, so I'll say over as well. I think we'll see some points. The Chiefs score, the Titans have scored, although the Titans' defense has given up just 12.5 points a game. So this is going to be a great matchup to watch, a great defense versus a great offense. So I'm going to see this game in the 20s. I'm going to go with 28-24. Actually, no, 28. How does this go? They're down. Okay, 27-24. There we go.
27-24, okay.
So it's actually a tick under, I think. Yeah, I can't do math, I guess. It is under. So it's going to end up being under. Yeah. Actually, you know what? No, that score is too low. The Chiefs will only score 24 points. Let's try this again. We're going to go with 27-30. That's how it's going to get done.
27-30-27, okay. Not bad, not a bad score.
30-27, we'll put it over. So
Okay.
That's my revised score.
Okay.
And anything else you think we should add in this game? What to watch for? Any key matchups? I think we covered a good amount of it.
Yeah, I think, you know what, I think that definitely you made a great point that I didn't point out. Derrick Henry chewing up the clock is going to be a problem, so they're going to have to really figure out a way that doesn't happen. Like I said, stopping stopping the run is key to victory, to beating the Titans. And it seems to me lately it's easier said than done.
Definitely.
So I think that a great matchup is how the Chiefs' defense is going to limit the other playmakers like A.J. Brown, Corey Davis if he decides to show up. It's just what the game plan is going to be. But like I said, I think the game plan by Spagnuolo is to stop the run and get to Tannehill and make him force turnovers, and that's the way they're going to win and advance the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'll just say my final thing, and then we'll be out in our next video. We'll be Packers 49ers. So I just think the Titans are ready for the moment. It just seems the team is focused. It seems they're driven. They're hungry. They're ready to win on the road. Will they be able to do what my Jets couldn't do back in 2010 and actually finish the job with this formula? Yes, I'm going to say the Titans get it done. In Arrowhead, I'm still a little nervous about Andy Reid in the big game. Last week we saw the bad start that they were able to erase, ends up scoring 51 points, winning by 20. But it's going to be a good game. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to watching it. Was it the matchup we thought we would get? No. But it is still going to be worth watching.
Absolutely.
And it's the first game on Sunday at 3:05.
What a way to start championship weekend. Sunday, can't wait. First game 3:05, next game 6:40. It's going to be great. Can't wait.
Yep, looking forward to it. So follow, like, subscribe, sponsor GT Sports Talk 2, Twitter and Instagram, GT Sports Talk, Apple Podcasts, and also our YouTube channel, which most of you will end up watching us on. Thank you, everyone.